Hi there and welcome to this video series where I'll be searching for the best trading strategy for cryptocurrency trading. In each video I'm going to test a strategy that is explained in a YouTube video, trading site or is publicly available for use. Each strategy will be tested on its performance by trading multiple digital asset pairs over the largest possible backtest period. The results of these tests are then compared with the results of earlier tested strategies. If you like these videos and want to see more of them, then please click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. Please remember that this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Everything you see here is hypothetical and based on historic data, so there's no guarantee the investigated strategy will work in the future. Also, I'm not a professional, so always do your own research or consult a professional before using any information in real trading. In the coming video series I will test strategies that were made or gathered by a Freqtrade strategy developer that goes by the name of Berlin Guy in CA. He has a directory in the Freqtrade GitHub repository for strategies and I will leave a link to that GitHub repo in the comments section below. I have tested some of his strategies earlier and decided to test all of his strategies to see if one of them provides the best profit against the lowest possible risk. This video is part of a trilogy of scalping strategies that is available on his GitHub repository. These scalping strategies are roughly the same indicators and settings, but they each differ in a certain approach. This time I will investigate and test the basic scalp strategy. Now let's take a look at the code and see what's going on over there. To start from the top, the ROI of this strategy is 1%. This means that the strategy will sell when the trade reaches a 1% profit. Next, the strategy has a stop loss of 4%, so this tells me that the strategy should at least have a win rate of 4 to 1 to get break even. Next, this parameter tells me that the strategy was intended to work on the 1 minute time frame. And this is where a small problem arises because the strategies that have been tested had a minimum of 5 minutes, so a direct comparison could raise some questions. However, if the strategy was intended to run on a 1 minute time frame, who am I to not test it as intended? In this section the following indicators are configured and will be part of the data frame to determine the buy and sell signals. The exponential moving average of the close price over the last 5 candles. Next there are 2 other moving averages that will form a band around the close price EMA. One that uses the high price of the day and one EMA that uses the low price of the day. And also they are the average over the last 5 periods. The next indicator that is used is the fast stochastics with a setting of 5, 3 and 3. And also the ADX will be used in the strategy. And finally the data frame will contain the Bollinger Bands, but as stated in the remark, this will only be used for graphing and not for buy and sell signals. In this section you will see the buy signal. The strategy will buy the given asset when the following conditions are met. The open price of the candle must be higher than the exponential moving average of the last 5 lowest candle prices. And next, the fast K and fast D of the Stochastics indicator should be over 30. And the final signal for buying the asset is the actual crossover moment where the fast K is crossing the D line. The sell signal will occur when the following condition is met. The open price of the candle is equal or higher than the exponential moving average of the high of the last 5 candles. Or the fast stochastics fast K should have a crossover above the 70 level, or the fast stochastics fast D should cross over the 70 level. So if all of these indicators meet their criteria, then the bot sells. And this is basically the strategy for scalping. Now let's test the default time frame and the additional 1 minute time frame to see which one of them performs the best. And as you can see, because this strategy was made for the 1 minute time frame, I also downloaded 1 minute data over the last 3 years. However, backtesting over 3 years of 1 minute data seems to be a bridge too far for my computer. So in the end I had to limit the time range to a maximum of 3 months to get any backtesting data back. Now I also had to pick a period where I could test somewhat bearish, ranging and bullish conditions, and decided to take June, July and August of 2021 as my backtesting period. Again, this is not according to my default method, but if testing on this time frame proves to be very successful, then who am I to complain, of course. The best time frame again seems to be the 1 day time frame, but this time with a total profit of minus 35%. The drawdown of this strategy proves to be 448% with a win rate of 49%, and the risk of ruining of this strategy is 146%. The first thing that's interesting is the high win rate of this strategy. Especially the 1 hour time frame even has a 72% win rate, and I wish some of the other strategies had these numbers. However, this strategy loses money over all time frames, and I think that is because of the ratio between the ROI and the stop loss settings. To be at least a little bit profitable, the win rate should at least be 4 to 1, and that's not the case over here. And also on the 1 minute time frame, this is not a time frame where I think you would trade. But especially for this strategy, I also included this in my test this time. But as you can see from the results, I didn't even keep break even, and you would lose all money in 3 months or so. So let's just see if HyperOpt can provide us with better ROI and stop loss settings, and maybe we can turn this from a loser into a winner. Now looking at these results, I immediately noticed the dramatic percentage wins over losses. And also the drawdown is very low. The risk of ruin of this strategy is also very low compared with earlier backtests. So this tells me that the strategy looks like it has a low risk setup. And this is a little bit where I think the problem lies. Because of this tight take profit, the strategy also don't let its winners run. And therefore the total profit of the strategy is also very low, I think. Now I like low risk strategies, but I also really like profitable strategies. So let's find out if this one will outperform the other ones on the strategy league chart. But before I do that, I quickly want to inform you about the way I do these tests. In this overview I have written down the setup for these tests and also the method to try to find the best strategy. This is the way I do these backtests and find the most profitable strategy. But you can also use this as an inspiration to develop your own methodology. I always strongly recommend you that you do your own research after watching my video. Develop your own way of testing and get confidence in your methodology. And make sure that you always forward test strategies before using these in actual real life trading. So, with this out of the way, let's see how this scalp strategy performs in comparison with my earlier tests. If you have watched my earlier backtesting videos and you remember the last number 1 strategy, then you can guess a little bit where the scalp strategy will enter this league by looking at its score. And indeed, we have found a new number 1 strategy based on my personal scoring card. However, you should always take this as a guide and not as an absolute advice to determine if a strategy performs in such a way that it can provide you with profits while reducing risks as much as possible. You can immediately see that scalping on the 1 day time frame with this strategy delivers you a profit while reducing risk. But if your risk appetite is a little bit bigger and you might want to gain more profits with your initial investment, then maybe this is not the correct strategy for you. As you can see, the other low risk golden and dead cross might be a better strategy because it gives you a little bit more than 268% gain with a slightly higher risk of ruin instead of this 106% return with this strategy. And again, these are from backtestings, so it's not guaranteed to get these kind of profits in the future, of course. Also, with this scalp strategy, you have to have a high level of patience because it only did a total of 228 trades over the complete backtesting period, which spans over almost 5 years of data. So don't expect this strategy to have a lot of activity. Nonetheless, again, we are a little bit better informed now and we'll see if we can find a better performing strategy in the future. So for now, thank you for watching and please click on the like button if you like this content and want to see more of this in the future. Also, please click on the bell icon if you want to get notified on my newest videos and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done already so. Again, please keep in mind that I'm not affiliated with the Freqtrade bot or the writer of this strategy. So if you have any questions on these subjects, then please ask the developers on their GitHub site. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.